So you're wondering, which CRAFTSMAN battery should you get? Hey, this is John Young. We are looking at a couple of different batteries today, and this concept is pretty much going to be universal with any company that does the batteries, the lithium-ion batteries for your cordless tools. Today we're looking at CRAFTSMAN batteries. We've got the 2 amp hour and the 4 amp hour batteries, and the thing that people, the 2 or the 1.5, depending upon the brand of the company, can do a lot, and they work really well, and you're getting the same output from this as you are to a little bit larger. So if you're wanting to have the torque for doing a small drilling job or a small cutting job, the 2 can do it. It just won't last as long. The 4 amp hour is going to last longer. Then most of the brands now have a 6 amp hour, which CRAFTSMAN does also, and then CRAFTSMAN also has a 9 amp hour battery, so you're getting a little bit more size. First off, take a look. The 2 batteries are identical size-wise in everything but height. And the big thing is that people are concerned about is weight. So let's take a look. The 2 amp hour, check this out, it comes in at about 13 ounces. Now let's look at the 4 amp hour battery. The 4 amp hour battery comes in at 1 pound 6.5 ounces. Convert that over, it's 22.5 ounces. This is not quite twice as heavy as this. And where that's going to matter is when you have a tool, and I'm just going to use this. This is just a simple LED light here from CRAFTSMAN. First we're going to put the big one on there and try to find that center of gravity here. So take a look at where I've got my finger right there, and that's kind of, I probably need to move it a little bit closer to the battery, right in that, there we go. That's kind of our center, our pivot point. I was off a little bit. So we're right about in here. Now we're going to put the smaller battery on it, set that down, smaller battery on, and now if I go here, it's way top heavy. So let's slide it down. Where is it? Where's that point going to be? Trying to find it. So it's going to be somewhere in this area. I'm still a little bit I'm still not quite there. It's going to be somewhere in this vicinity. It's where I've got my balance point. So you can see that for balance of tools, that if I would be using this one, it's a little more balanced right here over the trigger. If I'm using the bigger battery, the balance is back here where my fingers are. So that's really going to become the biggest difference when you're using the bigger batteries with any cordless tool, is that the weight is going to be back on the handle more than on, in this particular case, that's pretty close. The trigger, we were kind of a, somewhere right in that trigger area, and I'd have to find the exact point. But that's our pivot point, is right in there somewhere, because it goes one way or the other. That's really the most cumbersome part of having the bigger batteries, is it changes the balance point for some of the tools. Some tools can use this and it won't affect it at all, the larger battery. Some, it will make a huge difference on your comfort of running that tool for a long period of time. So there might be some situations where you're going to want to run the smaller batteries and have multiple of them because of the weight factor. And then there's some tools, like maybe a wet dry vac. You want the biggest battery you can find because you just don't want to be having to, you set the vacuum down, do your work, and you don't want to be swapping it out throughout the day. So go take a look at the batteries. In the fall, there's some great pricing on that from whatever company. Right now you can get 2 of the 4 amp hour batteries. Those are coming in just a little over $100, but the 6 and the 9 are out there. You can find those out at Ace Hardware, or you can go out to Lowe's. They've got those. Fleet Farm, if you're up in Minnesota, has those, and you can find a great deal on batteries. Check them out and find one that works for you, and have a good time building your projects.
For more tips and how-to videos, go to weekendhandyman.com.